Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be running through all the reasons why I am buying more Marks and Spencer's shares. So we'll look at the recent performance, the future guidance, any problems I might be facing, and that makes my overall opinion of why I'm buying more shares. This video is taken from a longer video which I'll link here now that explains 3 stocks that I'm buying right now, but I've just cut it down so it's more tailored towards anyone who's only looking for Marks and Spencer's information. But please remember that this is not financial advice, this is my own opinion, and I'm just putting it out there for information purposes so I can gain other people's opinion on the stock to help form my overall opinion, because it's important to hear other people's opinions. And just remember that your capital is at risk when investing, and you should be prepared to lose it all because you are not guaranteed to make any gains at all. So let's jump into the video. If you don't know what they are a massive retail giant in the UK, and they've recently gone through a transformation. So over the last year, they're up 28%. A few years ago, they brought in a new CEO who has transformed the business, and it is now one of the best supermarkets in the UK, not only for value for money but the actual quality of the product that they put out. Their food is really popular at the minute, and their clothes are getting even more popular, so that's very positive to start with. But let's actually look at the company's health. So we can see that the earnings per share has been grown. It's been growing steadily from 2021. So the 5-year earnings per share growth is 306%. Hopefully that keeps going up. But if we look at the breakdown, you can see, like most of the companies I've highlighted before, revenue has grown, and it has grown 26% over the last 5 years. Operating income has grown 21% over the last 5 years. Net income has grown 934% over the last 5 years. Earnings per share has grown and projected to continue growing, just like the rest of the business. Free cash flow is a bit up and down, but we don't mind that. And then if we look at the percentages, obviously it's a supermarket first, so it is a bit tight. But the key one I want to point out, like I said in the previous one, return on invested capital, I like to look for 10% or more. It's just floating above the 10%, so that's quite good. Operating margin keeps growing, net margin keeps growing, so yeah, it is looking good for Marks and Spencer's. If we look at the Wall Street target, you can see no matter how bad they do over the next 12 months, the forecast to do between a 5% gain and a 41% gain. I think again it'll be between the 25 and 41%, unless there's any major issues, which there has been recently, but we'll get onto that. They do pay a dividend. It is a small yield, and we'll see what happens with that. But due to debt pay down, they are returning 5.5% to shareholders every year, which is quite good. Another thing I want to look at is the intrinsic value of Marks and Spencer's. So alpha spread shows you this. So in a worst case scenario, it is a little bit overvalued. That's the worst case. I don't think it'll ever come to that. Base case, 16% undervalued. Best case, 44% undervalued, and I think it sits between these two. I am hoping we can get into the 500s, 600s in the next 12 months. That is my personal target for it. But long term, I think the way it's been turned around, it is becoming quite a strong British name again, and it'll keep growing and performing well financially. So what challenges have they had recently? So recently they had a cyber attack, unfortunately. So there was disruption to online operations and concerns about potential fines and profit downgrades. What happened was someone's gotten in and gotten people's personal details, but they haven't gotten any passwords or bank account details, so it wasn't too bad. And they believe that they've been facing a profit hit of around £15 million per week from the attack. But it has been announced that they have filed for a £100 million insurance claim to offset the financial damage. If this gets paid, then that's quite good. It's not too much of a concern. But because there was no serious data breach and it wasn't at M&S's fault, it hasn't had much of a reputational damage on M&S. So that's quite good. And that is it for this video. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of my analysis and the reasons why I'm buying Marks and Spencers. If you are a shareholder or have been a shareholder, let me know if below the reasons why you invested or the reasons why you've sold, and let me know if you want me to cover any more stocks in future videos. But yeah, just leave a like, subscribe if you enjoy investing videos and want to see more content, and I'll see you in the next one.